Every single day, thousands of people stop at a machine outside a gas station and buy something they could make at home for almost free: frozen water. It sounds ridiculous, yet one well-placed machine can quietly generate tens of thousands of dollars every year. But here's the strange part. Most people who buy one never make their investment back, and it all comes down to one location mistake almost everyone makes. We'll uncover it before the end of this video. At first glance, there's nothing special about this machine. No employee, no storefront, no advertising. It simply sits there, 24 hours a day, quietly selling bags of ice while most people drive past without thinking twice. But behind that simple machine is one of the most overlooked businesses in America. No restaurant, no inventory to stock every day, no staff standing behind a counter. Just one machine quietly making sales around the clock. And before you assume this is another get-rich-quick idea, it's not. This business works for one reason only. The economics are surprisingly simple, and once you understand them, everything starts making sense. Imagine owning a machine that never calls in sick, never asks for a raise, never closes for holidays. Every customer walks up, pays, grabs a bag, and leaves in under 30 seconds. That's why so many investors became interested in these machines. Once installed, they can keep operating every hour of the day with very little direct involvement. But if the business is really this simple, why doesn't everyone own one? The answer starts with understanding how these machines actually make money. So, how does an ice vending machine actually make money? Surprisingly, the product isn't expensive at all. Ice is simply filtered water that's frozen, stored, bagged, and dispensed automatically. The real business isn't selling water, it's selling convenience. Think about it. Someone heading to the beach, going fishing, hosting a barbecue, or filling a cooler for a road trip. They don't want to wait hours for a freezer at home. They simply stop, buy a bag, and continue their day. 30 seconds later, the machine is ready for the next customer. Once the machine is installed, there are very few ongoing expenses. Mainly electricity, water, routine maintenance, and occasional servicing. Because there isn't an employee standing there all day, labor costs stay incredibly low. That's one reason these machines can become surprisingly profitable once they're consistently used. Industry operators often aim for enough daily sales to cover operating costs and gradually recover the machine's purchase price. After that point, each additional sale contributes much more toward profit than it did at the beginning. But here's the interesting part. Making money isn't actually the hardest challenge. The real challenge is finding customers all year long. And that's where most people completely misunderstand this business. Most people think ice is only a summer business. That sounds logical, but it's only half the story. Ice isn't just for hot weather. It's used by fishermen, campers, food vendors, hunters, delivery businesses, and thousands of people every single day. That's why experienced operators don't think about weather first. They think about habits. They ask one question: who regularly needs ice, no matter the season? And that's where many beginners make their biggest mistake. They assume the busiest location automatically makes the most money. It sounds obvious, but that's usually where the problems begin. Imagine pulling into a grocery store. You park, walk inside, and there's already cheaper bagged ice waiting just a few steps away. Why would anyone walk back outside to use another machine? This isn't really a traffic problem. It's a competition problem. Two businesses are selling exactly the same thing in almost the same place. So if busy shopping centers aren't the best locations, where do the highest performing machines actually go? The answer surprises almost every new operator, and it completely changes the economics of this business. Remember the question from the beginning? Where do the best performing ice vending machines actually go? Surprisingly, it's often standalone gas stations and convenience stores in rural or semi-rural areas, especially those without a nearby grocery store selling bagged ice. These locations already have steady traffic. People stop for fuel, drinks, snacks, and they're already outside. Buying a bag of ice becomes an easy extra purchase. Even more importantly, there's very little direct competition. No supermarket freezer, no giant retail chain, just one machine solving an immediate problem. That's the lesson many new owners miss. They chase the biggest crowds, while experienced operators chase the smallest amount of competition. The goal isn't to be where everyone is. The goal is to be the only convenient option when someone suddenly needs ice. That's why successful operators spend more time researching locations than shopping for machines. Because the machine rarely determines success. The location does. So, how much money can an ice vending machine actually make? The better question is, how good is the location? Because in this business, the right location can turn one simple machine into a surprisingly profitable long-term asset. Most people see an ice machine. You now see a business. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to discover more hidden businesses quietly generating serious money, subscribe, because next time, we're uncovering another overlooked money machine hiding in plain sight.